So, the story begins. Just got to shut this radio here. All right? Just 1 second. I don't like this start up this stuff. Okay. So, you see the way it starts? Very unprofessional. That's the way it is. The only thing that gets to be professional in this is the trend of thought. It's the thought of help. Help is the letter H. Kelp is the letter 2. They are connected somehow together through the world of 1010. Kelp, is the kelp the help? What is the kelp? And if it is help, for what is it helping? That's the word of help. To send, to be, to have, two of anything is more than one. Less than 3. And find the way it is, as no one has more than the other. What's going on in this world? Why is this world here? I'm going to ask you a question. What would you be doing if the world wasn't here? Wouldn't you be a little lost? You wouldn't know where you would be. So when you tell your mother you're going out, she knows you're on Earth. Good enough for her. The danger is outside the Earth, not on the Earth. Even if you get killed on the Earth, that's not a danger. We're not looking for the danger. We are looking for the danger field. The ROG of rogue, which is the danger field. That's why they called him the funny guy, Rodney Dangerfield. So I can make this all up. And then I can make it up to make sense. And I can make it up to be stupid. The stupid part of totality of whatever is not to take in ear, as in mind and understanding what you actually hear, is only of the definitions you have learned, but not of the definitions you have not learned. See, it's not the definitions that you have not learned. Sometimes you do not have to know the unknown definitions, because sometimes the first definition tells you everything you really need to know. It's as simple as that. In this world, it's you and then 2, 3, 4. In fact, no. It's you and 4, 3, 2. Because 4 is the 4 parts of the 8 world of who you are. Half. 3 is from the world in which creation is made. 1 of each. 1, 1, 1. 3, void 3. How the existence of 7 came to be. 7 is a stretch, okay, of a period of time between 3 and 7. That's it. Why do I keep jumping over 1? Because first of all, 1 and 0 is who you are. You are born as the omega egg and you are just 1. So we go to 2, 3, 4. 5 is the passage. 6 is just like 1, but on the other side of the passage, it's first. So A and F are now first. Now I lost my trend of thought. Something I had and now it's lost. It's something I had. Hate the word I got, but I got it. So 1 and 2, now I know where we are. So 1, now the next question is, what's 2? Well, 2 from 5 is 7, but it's actually just 6 and 7, the right side of the key telephone pad. And then to begin those off, to even them out, is 1 and 2. So we don't need 1 and 2, and we don't actually need 6 and 7, because first of all, 1 has a gate, but is involved in number 5. 2 has no gates. It's a connection and is also related to number 5. 6 is like 1, but it's man connected to the 1 spirit, creating the 7 element. 7, 7, 7. The 3 spaces of the 8 and 9 card. In order to get what I'm telling you, you put the 8 and the 9 card together and you get it. Okay, the 9 card, okay, is like the 1 card, like I said. There's no 4 corners, so there's really no life. Okay, the 10 card, okay, or in pool it would be the 2, and in the 10-10 world it would be the 2, okay, because they're both blue. And I'm just trying to think over here. So we went on to 6 and 7. 8 is the 8 ball between 2 sides. 8 is 2 zeros, 1 egg on each side inside the 8 ball that's an egg itself. Like every pool ball, put a 0 in front of it, unless it's a stripe. You know why? The stripe turns to 0, right? The surrounding part around the number into 11. 11 goes around, comes around. I don't know why. 11, 11 is 22, 33, 66, 99, 110, 121. 121, 11 times 11 is 121. 11 to go around and to come around. Do I actually know what I'm talking about? I do know that when you get to 12, you have completed the first 2 worlds of 7. Why is that? Because it's 6 and 6, which the totality, okay, connected, is 7 and 7. 6.7. Nobody ever did count the dot to start with. Well, maybe we got to understand it as being the 7th day, the connecting between 2 6 days. The reason for 7 days a week, 21 days in a month, but 4 weeks make 28 days, which is the maximum number of days we have in February for 3 years. And that's because now we go to the 4. The 4 has 4 corners. The 4 and the 12 are the first one of the secondary section. Again, like I said, the 4th one would actually be letter D, A, B, C, D, D, E, F, G, H, I. So I know it's very hard to follow because I can't exactly say it. If I had it written down, then I'd be able to say it. But anyways, in finality, once you have creation, okay, and then you have the delta corner. The delta corner, okay, it's just all the corners. And that's why creation and everything else goes 3 dots. Because the dot says, I am all the corners, and I am. He is, plus he is the 4 corners, making it 10. And then again, everybody knows 2.5 men times 4 make 10. Everybody's going to come on and say, well, what are you talking about, 2.5 men? Ah, it's an Irish kite. Hey, 2.5 times, everybody knows 2.5 times 4 is 10. Anybody can make that up. Okay, make it up. Make up your own result for your own hypothetical thought. Doing the same thing. So you cannot negate what I say. Unless you negate it to replace it with something else, of course. Then we can use it as a comparable to something in the future until we find a better what's it called to it, a better definition. But anyways, let's go here now. We have number 13. 13 is first, 15 is last. Let's take up number 14. Then we go 15, 16, 17. 15 is first, 17 is last, and in between, we have the next number. Remember this, when you do it, use the terms from roulette. In roulette, okay, if I go 10 first, I don't go 12 last, but I do go 12 last, but it's a different explanation, okay? I'm going to try and write this down. I have to see this for myself. What did I say? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What I say? 10. J10, okay, is in the 4th board. I'm going to first show you the first 2.5 men. J10 is in the 4th board. 4 times 2.5 is 10. The last one, okay, is L12. Now this is so difficult, okay? This is so difficult. L, the letter L, okay? This would say 1, this would say 3 creation. They're both shown on the 4th board. This one would be 1, and this would an A, and this would be 4 and D. This would be A, D, and this would be C, D. A, D, and C, D. I don't know. Okay, so now here we have 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 4 is 7. And then 1 plus 4 is 5. So the actuality of these two are 5. Okay, 5 and 7, sorry. Now what happens now is they are row number 1, because it says 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1. So it's starting over. So this will tell you, okay, the totality of the first 9 before it. And the totality in numbers of the first 9 before it become 5 and 7, or the letters E and G. So the first 12 represent the egg. Not only that, okay, but if we take 12 and 4, which is 17, it's the one spirit of 7, that is the queen that represents the egg. Now, where do I get that from? Make it all up? Of course. What else am I going to do? It's a goddamn book. It's a book. Uh-oh, we're getting into the dirty section right now. 17th letter in the alphabet is the queen. What does the queen represent and do? 17 is 1 plus 7 is 8. That is the heaven. 1 times 7, she takes care of the 7th gate, because the girl is the one who brings the baby in. Okay, so 7 and 8 equals 15. You remember what I said? The 17 is the Q, is 1 plus 7. 1 times 7 equals 8 equals 7 equals 15. Omega, A and E, and we start. So how does it represent itself? This is the way it represents itself, okay? Like I said, to start off in the numbers that we began with, just like in piano, A to G. If you go A to G, 1 plus 7 equals 8. If you go 1 times 7, it equals 7. G and H, it represents the 7th and 8th, okay? This represents the 7th letter. The 8th is silent, and that's why it's moved over as the next letter. If I can remember, it might be a black key in piano. The 10 in roulette is black, and that's how it starts in this world. The first number, the first black number to start after the first 12, okay, is 13 black. To end it and express it, it's 10 black. They're not always black and black, okay, because 13 black and what is above it is 16 red, is above it 19 red. Do not connect. So what's going to happen here? Okay, 7 and 8, G and H, okay, and here we have A and G, A, G, and H, A, G, and H. It's almost like saying hasha. Hasha, we all fall down. 7 plus 8 equals 15. First letter is A, 5th letter is E, and now we start all over again the way we did at the beginning. A, B goes with F, and goes with E and F. E and F as a 7-7 world. Wow. You just have to keep going around and around. Oh my God. A and E starts over what we just did before. In between A and E is a C, and in between E and I, okay, is the H, C and H. It's the in between 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the 7 is in between, okay, on the second side. Okay, and on the first side, it's C. Is it C that's involved? 5, A, B, C, A, B, C, D. Okay, so it's C. And that's the one that piano says is the first letter. And it ends with G. And that piano is the last letter. So definitely the universe, we are in a vibration of the universe right now. So we're just going to get off of this because I've gone too far. I set up a little diagram over here. I'm not quite sure which way it goes. This was my first tryout on how the service centers work. What are the service centers? Satellite moons and planets. All that stuff flying in the air. Just like the chemtrails, it's always dropping something off in the path of the sun in order to transfer the energy the last way. Everybody wants to know what the sun does. Uranus, okay, as known as the 7th gate and the god, okay, has its totality in the dictionary from number 7, okay. But the question is, where actually is that crane that's moving the parts of the seventh gate? One part is inside the woman. One part is inside the sun. One part is inside the one spirit of the transference of the birth energy from this world to the next in the seventh gate. So it comes from different places, number 7, based upon the transfer in the world that has begun. Is it the energy that is connecting? Is it the bars that are connecting? What exactly is going on? For now, we're going to take a seat just to show you one little thing at the bottom. Aleph and Tait both have an omega egg on it. I started doing the Jewish, the Hebrew, what do you call it, alphabet. And it doesn't matter where it is, what alphabet. The minute you get a 0, you know partly where you are. Because like I said, the O is the 15th letter, but the J, okay, is the 10th letter, also has an O. Are they in the same position? Are they next to each other? And how did all the other letters in the alphabet actually come to be where they are right now? What serving purpose do some of these letters have in the alphabet today? But we're number 1 in creation. Are they still number 1 today? Or has it been like history and number 1 came in and for some reason number 1 was lost and replaced by every other number? The egg, well, it seems to come about every time you have a child. The one, well, everybody seems to celebrate. At the hospital, the baby was just born as the egg. And the first birthday, 1 and O. The baby's name begins with Ja. We all have almost of the same names. And that's why in Hebrew, they go Ben, B-E-N. Ben, Bear, whatever you want to say. Now, before we commence and go into the next part of this video I am making, what is going on? There's creme trails all over the place. All over the place. How come people never learn to be just, why are people so grumpy? What's going on? Why does somebody want to take over the world? Well, that's not hard to figure out. Wouldn't you like to get into a game and the thing in the game is to take over the world? But not everybody knows that. They come here and they think they just got, no, you got to take over your own world. Not everybody else's, but some people misinterpreted, and now we're running into chemtrails and all this other bullshit where people are not looking to help you anymore, but more like not to destroy you, but to separate from you. This is not a world of separation. As though, and we all know that we are all getting separated, this world is a world of the tricks. Yes. The rabbit, and tricks are for kids, silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids, silly rabbit. Hey, you do a trick, you get paid for it. If you trick someone, you are taking something away. Hey, silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. Take nothing from anybody. Only kids make silly and foolish remarks. When their bunny antennas and cottontails stick to the ground, every time a rabbit runs and stops, do you know he sits down and he puts a dot about this big? Just big enough to fit on a Christmas hat, and just big enough to be one of the crop circles that we see, something like this. You don't mind just waiting for me a second, do you? Because I just want to do this because, I don't know, I like to do things, so we're going to just continue on. And it's not that hard to figure out, you know? I mean, doesn't anybody know what this is? This is a rabbit sitting down, and this is his cottontail making a step. And he's got it on all of these. The only time he doesn't have it is right here. Is it because he's not sitting down? I mean, what does a rabbit do? You ever see a rabbit when he sits, he's like sort of like this. So when he's running, he's like this. So if a rabbit's not moving, he's got to be sitting. Is that not true? I don't really see any. I can't see how a rabbit. And not only that, one of the reasons I bring this up is because on a 1967 Canadian nickel, they had a rabbit, well, a hare or whatever you want to call it. And if you ever look at its back, it looks like the reish, the design of its back. Anyways, with the rabbit. But now when we go to the chicken right now, the rooster, right? I'm just gonna. You ever see? Didn't come out. Okay, how do I mark this? Wow. Oh yeah. You ever see this design? Take a good look at it. What in the world can this be? It's a rooster. Okay? It's a rooster. The way its tail in the back, you know, just goes out on the rooster. I can't draw good enough. But I saw it last night in my dream, and it designed the letter V. Okay, the way it went, it was like this way and then this way, and it was just so perfect, and it was just so perfect. I can't explain it. The only reason I mention it is because it's just crazy things come to me, and I know in 2-3 days from now, I'm going to know basically a little bit more about it. For some reason, it seems like a little more salt. Hey God, a little more salt. What about the pepper? I can't understand any of this crap you sold me. A little bit more salt. He says, you know, if you get too much information, the mind will slow down, will not totally keep the read. So you must stay away from too much salt. But then again, in the Matrix, what was the red pill? Because if you think I'm not confused, I take a blue pill. But it's a turquoise. It's like the Mediterranean. That's why I take it. Because if it was very, very, very blue, I wouldn't touch it at all. But I'm still thinking, should I be taking this pill or am I fooled? Can't stop. No one's here to say stop. Everybody's here to say no. If you stop, you'll get hurt. Apparently, this pill, it's the salt is needed. Apparently, it was understood as to keep your mind connected. Otherwise, the connectors separate from each other, and that's what the salt is for. And they said you can lose your mind. And anyways, is it true, or is it just true like that? Because nobody actually, just when you start to lose your mind, you see, I've already lost my mind. The question is, will I lose the rest of it? Because if I won't, then I'd rather not take that pill and see what's in the next world. Otherwise, we might have to do heavier drugs to get into the next world. But then again, can't do that either. I'm all alone. If something happens, all they know is to drug me back up and to set me back into a world I don't want to be. But for now, we'll let it be as is. And as is, it shall be. But just to let everybody know, 6 doesn't exist. There's only 5 sides on a dice. Okay? I'm going to show you my hand. You show me 6 sides. You tell me the number. 3, 6, 1, 4, 3, 6, 1, 4, 5. 3, 3, 6, 1, 4, 5. That's all you see. So where's the 6th one? It's right here in the palm of my hand. Can't see the bottom, just like you can't see the top, unless you're the one in control. You can actually just see all around you. And no longer 4 sides, now it's 8 sides. Why not 4 sides? Because that's A, B, C, D in this world. There's now 8 sides in 8 directions. Anyways, I don't want to pamper you guys with all this. But like I said, here's the 6. This way and this way. They put this one on top of this one, and then this hole which is here, and this hole which is here fill up, and now you got your 6, 8 of 5, 1, 7, 9, 8 of the 3 world of the one God. But we're going to have to change that because there's more than one God in this world. At least more than one God in this world. A God, a guide, someone to help you through. There is more than one. Kings are lives, because every time in chess, Or in poker and checkers, you get kinged. I'm just throwing things all around. Anyways, we're going to end it now. I'm going to tell you. I threw things all around. This is not prepared. This is just all on the top of my head. It always is, and I will always repeat ourselves because we're still talking about the same thing. Is there a Messiah? Yes. You know what I heard? Good to invite that guy for supper. It's supposed to bring you good luck. So I invite the Messiah for supper, just for a little good luck. Then I'll throw him out on his ass. Oh boy. The only one that can save and that is a Messiah is you and yourself. It's within what you take, your mind. What would the Messiah do? What would he do? Why doesn't God just go, poof? What is the Messiah going to do? Is he going to hold up his staff like Moses? Why doesn't God just come in here and poof? I'm not giving you my answer. Yes, I do have an answer. Raphael 7286.